What's up, guys? Thought I'd take a minute. I'm up here at Lake Erie for our club classic, and Dad can't come up for a couple days. I'm going to be here by myself tonight and tomorrow. He's coming up Friday, but I thought I'd take a minute and just tell some of you guys that aren't from Ohio or around here kind of what Lake Erie's like, outside of, what you see the pros do on TV. We're just we're just average Joe club fishermen and all that. So I think it's a perspective that the mass majority of us really have, but obviously the guys on TV that you see up here are just absolute freaks of nature. But anyways, Lake Erie, world-class fishery. I wanted to do this because a lot of people always, there's a lot of lakes down south that are on our bucket list, and there's a lot of lakes up here that are on a lot of you guys down south's bucket list. But if I was not from this area, which I'm 3 hours away, so I can get up here at least a time or two a year, if everything allows. But if I'm not from this area, things to know about Lake Erie. It's not catching fish in a barrel all the time. It's actually pretty tough quite a bit of the time as far as quality fish go. If you can come up here in July, August, like the hottest part of the year, and you can go out and catch 20 or more fish a day, you're having really good days. I would say 5 to 15 fish is probably an average or slightly above average day. But there's a couple ways about it you can go up here. Obviously, if you come up here, you want to go chase smallmouth. The quality smallmouth in the summertime are really hard to come by. The guys you see catch them on TV, like I said, they're absolute freaks. Tons of experience, tons of gained knowledge, just from wherever they can get it, and just they're not the working man. They don't have a 9 to 5, so they have the time to go out and find them too, which obviously shows. I mean, that's their job, and they do a good job at it. But if you come up here, I would say, if you're going to make a trip up here, I would say anywhere from like late April to mid-June would be probably, your peak catching, your peak fish catching season. Now, as far as fishing goes, I always come to Port Clinton. That's the area that I know. It's right up the road from Sandusky, about 15 minutes. So a lot of the big tournaments go out of Sandusky Bay. Port Clinton is a cool area because if the lake's big, or the waves are big, and it's blowing that day, Port Clinton has a lot of other little areas you can go catch largemouth, just to get through your day. One other thing is this lake, it isn't anything you want to mess around with. People die out here every single year. It's very, very vast out there. It's very intimidating, and you can get yourself in a pinch out there. You need to be very prepared, equipment wise. It's a law to have flares on your boat when you're up here. It's probably really smart to have some type of subscription with Boat Tow US, because it costs a lot of money to get a tow back in. So that's a big one. If you come up here and you go out And 3-footers are pretty manageable. You got to take your time, go 30-40 miles an hour. The biggest thing is, you know, don't panic. Just trim it down and get your nose up and kind of take each wave as it comes. But if you're ever out there and your instincts are telling you heard a rumble of thunder off in the distance, or you think a storm's brewing up or something, you need to head in, because it can change out there in a snap of a finger. And if you're out like at the Bass Islands, I think it's like a 7-mile run to get back. And if you get caught in a real hard blow halfway back and that storm rolls in, you're in deep trouble. And that's probably my biggest piece of advice. As far as that goes, you know, there's East Harbor, there's West Harbor, there's Sandusky Bay, places where you can go have a blast catching largemouth, especially in that late April through mid-June. I mean, that time of year you can have 100 fish a day up here if you find them. I mean, you can find them stacked up. So, you know, smallmouth wise, that time of the year, if you go out to the islands, that's going to be your best time of the year to catch multiple numbers. You know, spawning fish and all that stuff. They're shallower and they're easy to catch, and everybody knows smallmouth are really aggressive. So, in a nutshell, I just kind of wanted you guys to know, like, what it was like up here. It's a great fishery. It's better than anything we have here in Ohio, or it's probably better than most places in the world. But it's big and it's vast, and you got to be careful. Just plan wisely. Make sure you have, you know, a good dependable boat, good equipment, and it's just, I just kind of wanted you to know it. You don't just ride out in the lake and, you know, throw out there and just start catching giant smallmouth. It's tougher than most people think. But, you know, your Jacob Wheelers and everybody else, I mean, in those MLF tournaments and BASS and all that, they make it look easy. The dudes are just absolutely unreal. But I don't know, guys. I just thought I'd share a little tidbit or two with you about Lake Erie. If you ever want to come up, reach out. I'm no expert by any means. I've just been coming up here at least once a year. I mean, for a good 8 or 10 years, so I know my way around. Don't know all the secrets at all. I mean, I know enough to go out and have a little fun and how to be careful. But hope you guys can take a little something from this, and I hope you guys can make it up here sometime. St. Clair is probably a little bit funner as far as just blindly running into fish, but it's just, you know, big and open, and you can kind of find them anywhere. But Lake Erie, especially in the summer, the smallmouth really relate to like deep, isolated structure, you know, individual boulders and stuff that just, you know, takes half your trip just trying to find something that might be holding them. If you want to catch a ton of drum, you're probably going to catch some walleye. Awesome largemouth fishery. That's why it's not a big deal if it blows and, you know, you can't go out on the big water. Just be content with that day and stay in one of the harbors, and if you keep fishing long enough, you'll run into a big old wad of largemouth. So anywho, but you can catch some good smallmouth in Sandusky Bay, just largemouth fishing too. I caught 3 today, and the biggest one I broke off was probably close to 4 pounds. So they're here, they're everywhere. You just got to go fishing. But like I said, if you have any questions about the area I come to, or want some advice, where to stay, I mean, anything like that, hit us up in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. Just wanted to give you a little realistic version of what it's like up here, you know, kind of in the summer months. Earlier in the year, your trip would be money a lot better spent. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Everybody have a good night, and we'll talk to you next time.